The following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network.
Now on, hits a single to right field. That will score. Jaroszewski and the Stars take the lead on the RBI single by Hansen to right field.
Wells fights to keep his shoulder up. And his pin.
2:20 remains in the game. 4th and 17. The Vikings capitalize early on a big one. What will the Squirrels do? Deep pass down the field. Cooper Johnson and Mason. Oh my! What a fantastic catch by Cooper Johnson.
Dribble. Got Andra down low. Iniger had it knocked free. Gets it back. Muscles his way in. Got it.
Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
And our apologies. We joined the ball game a little bit late. You only missed one pitch. And here's a ground ball to the right side. Fielded by the second baseman. Glasso, not in time. It's going to be an infield single for Ethan Dahl. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier. Second game of a doubleheader. Fargo pulls 400 Astros, win the first game by a score of 3-2. Beautifully pitched ball game by Ethan Dahl, who happened to be that leadoff hitter that just got that leadoff single. Swing and a miss by Ashton Renas. He's a designated hitter tonight. He went 3 for 3 in the first game with a walk. He bats now. We're just getting started, folks. Top of the first inning. Mason Almaris on the hill for the Kindred Vikings. Throws ball one. Jeremiah Doctors is the catcher. He's going to catch both ends of a doubleheader. Runner on first, 1-1 count. And the pitch from Almaris is outside, ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Number 8, Mason Almaris on the hill. And the pitch, swing and a ground ball to the right side. Glasso has it. He'll have one play, and that's to first base. Ethan Dahl got a pretty good jump from first base and was able to reach second base safely. Renas is retired for the first time tonight on the ground out to the second baseman, and there's one away. That'll bring up Alex Christofferson. He's the center fielder in this ball game. Gus Weremeyer, who had the game-winning sacrifice fly in the first game, will back cleanup again and play first base. Chase Lurda, who came in and got the save in the first game, will start in right field and bat 5th. First pitch to Christofferson is a ball. Batting 6th for the Astros will be Colston Sen. The second baseman, Jackson Sturma. Third baseman, bats 7th. And the pitch up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Cade Olhauser bats 8th. He plays at shortstop, and Josh Tandesky is the catcher. He'll bat 9th. The pitcher, and he's being hit for by the designated hitter, will be Gavin Jiskra. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Glasso has it. He'll make the play over to first base, and Christofferson is retired on the ground out to the second baseman. And there's 2 away. Ethan Dahl moves up to third base, and Gus Weremeyer steps to the plate. Left-handed hitter hit 4 fly ball outs, but the last one he hit was a big one because it went down as a sacrifice fly, and he gets the RBI, helping the Astros win it by a score of 3-2 in the first ball game. First pitch to him is a ball. Leadoff single, Ethan Dahl reached on a base hit, then 2 ground outs to the second baseman, and Ethan Dahl reaches third base. Here's a foul ball by Weremeyer, and the count rolls along at 1-1. Mason Almaris, the starter on the hill. It's got Jeremiah Doctor catching. Jack Packer in the ball game at first base again. Here's an off-speed pitch, fouled up the line, foul. Graham Glasso is at second base. Shortstop Jack Wold, who pitched the first game, pitched a beautiful game in the first game, goes to shortstop. Nick Thompson again at third base. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a line drive into shallow center field, down for a base hit, and Weremeyer has his first hit of the ball game. First hit of the day. Single into center field. And very quickly, the Astros jump out to a 1-0 lead. Chase Lura, the batter. The outfield looks like this for the Kindred Vikings. Out in left field will be Stanley Belaski. In center field is Kylan Swenson. And Xander Rath is out in right field. And the first pitch to the batter, Chase Lura, is a ball in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. And Weremeyer moves up on the wild pitch. I was saying Xavier Rath in the first game. It's Xander Rath. So my apologies. Here's a 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Runner in scoring position. Astros have their first run of the ball game. We're just getting started. Top of the first inning of the second game of a doubleheader. Both of these games count in the standing. And here's a pitch, swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. Colston Sen is on deck for the post 400 Astros. Kindred Vikings are post 117. Here's a 2-1. Lura fouls it back to the screen. Count goes to 2-2. Almera's trying to minimize the damage here. He's giving up the 1 run. Infield single, then a base hit up the middle. Here's a breaking ball over for strike 3 called. And that'll end the half inning. For the Astros, they get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Kindred errors. 1 runner is left on base after a half an inning. Post 400 leads it by a score of 1-0 with the Vikings coming to bat. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC's story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Since 1897, families in the Red River Valley have depended on Bolger Funeral Home during life's toughest challenge. With each generation, we're committed to continuing that tradition of care and meeting the changing needs of families, from expanding our facilities to offering new technologies. And through it all, one thing remains the same: caring and affordable service. Always. Bolger Funeral Home. At this time, count on us.
We head to the bottom of the first inning. Kindred Vikings come into bat. They're down by a score of 1-0 as a Fargo post 400 Astros score a run in the top of the first inning. Your runnings starting lineup for the Kindred Vikings, leading off and playing pitching today, Mason Almaris. Kylan Swenson bats second, plays out in center field. Nick Thompson's at third base, bats third. Graham Glasso, the second baseman, hits cleanup. Jeremiah Doctor bats fifth, he's the catcher. Jack Wold at shortstop, batting sixth, and Jack Packer bats seventh, playing over at first base. As Almaris takes strike 1. Stanley Belaski will play in left field and bat eighth, and Xander Rath out in right field, bats ninth. And here's a pitch from Jiskra. It's a ball. 1-1 the count. Gavin Jiskra on the hill. Throws to his catcher, Josh Tandesky. One and one the count. Mason Almaris at the plate. Takes ball high. 2-1. Early goings of this one, folks. And here's a pitch from Jiskra. Called strike 2. Ethan Dahl, can't say it enough, threw a gem in the first game. He was relieved after 6 innings, and Chase Lura came on to close it out and gets the save for the Astros as Dahl picks up the win. Here's a long drive deep to left center field. This ball's hit well. That's in the gap. That's going to bounce off a Well, not quite reached the fence. Almaris rounding second, on his way to third. There will be a play. Here's the throw. Not in time. A leadoff triple for Mason Almaris. Great relay by the Astros. Center fielder was able to pick up that ball. Christofferson threw a strike to his cutoff man. They threw a strike over to third base. Looked like the tag was applied, but the umpire called him safe. A very close play, a bang-bang play over at third base, and it goes down as a leadoff triple for Mason Almaris. That'll bring up Kylan Swenson, the center fielder.
He was pretty excited about that, meeting his coach over at third.
I'm Mike Bernier, along with Wendy Bernier, bringing you American Legion Baseball and Magnitude Sports. Kylan Swenson takes strike one. And here's a pitch. Breaking ball. Hits him in the backside, if you will. Kylan Swenson reaches first base on the hit batter. That'll bring up Nick Thompson, third baseman. Had a nice ball game in the first game. Nick Thompson's got some serious power. Kylan Swenson's got some serious speed over at first base. He's off to the races, and there's a high pop fly into right field. Right fielder comes on and makes the catch. Almaris is going to challenge to the arm. Here's the play to the plate. Not in time. And as the catcher's arguing the call, Kylan Swenson's able to tag up from first base and move down to second base. Tandesky did not like the call. It looked like Almaris was able to slide around the tag and score the run. It was a beautiful throw to the plate by the right fielder, Chase Lura. So Kylan Swenson moves up to second base. Mason Almaris scores on the sacrifice fly by Nick Thompson, and we got ourselves a tie ball game in the first inning. It's 1-1. Kylan Swenson looking to advance to third on the low pitch in the dirt. Graham Glasso, the hitter, he's the second baseman, played shortstop in the first game. Has a 1-0 count, and a balk is called by the base umpire. And Kylan Swenson moves down to third base anyway on the balk. I did not see it. Kelly McNary is behind the plate. He's the umpire calling balls and strikes tonight. Tom Perius out on the base pass called the balk against the pitcher, Jiskra. As Glasso fouls one behind the stands back here. Count rolls along at 1-1. There's one out. The sacrifice fly. RBI credited to Nick Thompson on the fly out to right field. Right fielder Chase Lura made the catch and threw a strike to the plate and nearly threw out Mason Almaris. So sacrifice fly. Kylan Swenson now on third base. Line drive, base hit into left field. Graham Glasso with a solid RBI knock into left. And that gives the Kindred Vikings their first lead of the evening. In the first game, the Astros were able to jump out to a 2-0 lead. Vikings scored 2 and tied it up. And eventually, the Astros were able to get that third run, but the Vikings never had a lead in that first game, and they get their first lead now. Their second base hit of the inning. RBI single by Graham Glasso brings up the catcher, Jeremiah Doctor. He takes ball 1. Glasso has some speed. See if he attempts to move up to second base. And they think he's stealing as well. Throw over to first base to check the runners, not in time. Gavin Jiskra on the hill. Right-handed pitcher, wears number 1. Played right field in the first game, did a fine job. Throw strike 1 to the left-handed hitting Jeremiah Doctor. Doctor had a decent day at the plate in the first game. And here's a pitch. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. It skips away from the catcher, and Tandesky's not going to be able to come up with it in time. And Glasgow's going to move up to second base on the wild pitch. Jack Wold is on deck for the Vikings. 2-1 lead early on in this ball game in the second game of a doubleheader. Beautiful evening in Kindred. There is no wind. The flag is hanging straight down out there. Here's a high pop fly foul.
I thought it was windy, but it's just our fan up here in the press box. Like, where's that breeze coming from? Flag's not moving.
Yeah, I have to have my cell phone blocking my scorebook down here so it doesn't blow away. Feels windy up here in the press box. I'm standing right next to a fan.
Yeah, the flag's not moving.
And here's a 2-2 fastball, called for a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Jisker looks on. Two runs on 2 hits this inning for the Vikings. Here's a line drive to the gap in right center field. That's over the head of everybody, and it's going to 2-hop the wall. Jeremiah Doctor's going to have an extra base hit as he goes into second standing on a double. Scores Graham Glasso easily from second base, and the Kindred Vikings find themselves up by a score of 3-1 after the RBI double from the left-handed hitting Jeremiah Doctor. Sure, we'll have a courtesy runner once again. Yes, indeed. Jeremiah Doctor comes out of the ball game. Courtesy runner is Jack McDonald, number 1. Jack McDonald's got some serious speed. And again, the courtesy runner rules in place for the catcher, so the catcher could get in, get his gear on, and save some times between innings and save the knees of the catcher a little bit too. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball upstairs to Jack Wold. He's a shortstop. Again, threw a gem in the first game. Gave up 3 runs, but only 1 run was earned. And he took the hard luck loss on the mound for the Kindred Vikings in the first game of this doubleheader. And here's a pitch from Jiskra. It's a fastball. Swing and a miss by Jack Wold. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's 1 out. Runner in scoring position in the courtesy runner, Jack McDonald. And the pitch. Fastball outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jack Packer is on deck. And Jiskra looks on, kicks and fires, fastball, fouled back over the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kindred Vikings making Jiskra work a little bit here. He's got 22 pitches this inning, only 1 out. He's given up the 3 runs on the 3 hits. And the 2-2 down in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher, Josh Tandesky. Count goes full. And here's a 3-2 pitch. There's a line drive into left center field. This ball will not be caught. Cut off brilliantly by the center fielder, Christofferson, but not in time for Jack McDonald to score from second base. The speedster is able to score on the line drive single. Great read by Jack McDonald as Jack Wold lines a single into center field. I wasn't sure I was saying this right because we've got Jack McDonald courtesy running. We got Jack Wold up at the plate. He lines an RBI single. Jack Packer comes up to bat now.
It's a lot of Jacks.
Yeah, I was thinking I was saying their names wrong. I couldn't believe there was 3 Jacks right in a row there.
There you go. Triple threat.
RBI single by Jack Wold. Jack Packer now up at the plate. Jack McDonald scores to make it 4-1. And Jiskra has now thrown 24 pitches. He's given up the 4 hits this inning. And the Vikings lead it by a score of 4-1. Jack Wold has some speed on first base as well. Jack Packer had a nice day at the plate. Hit the ball hard a couple of times, had 1 hit to show for it. And Jiskra looks on, kicks and fires, fastball pounded up the third baseline, fielded, throw across a diamond, is in time. And Jack Packer is called out on a 5-3 putout as the third baseman, Jack Sturma, throws to first baseman Gus Wehrmeyer for the second out of the inning. Jack Wool does move up to second base. Stanley Belowski steps to the plate. He plays left field. Eighth hole hitter with Xander Rath on deck. And the pitch from Jiskra is a fastball, high pop fly in the infield. First baseman Wehrmeyer calls for it, and he puts it away. In that inning, the Kindred Vikings come up with 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors, and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1 inning complete, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 4-1 over the Fargo Post 400 Astros. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC's story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a 4th-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light. Sweet Shots is Fargo's premier golf entertainment destination. Sweet Shots will host your birthday, bachelorette party, corporate events, date nights, or night out with friends and family. Need help with your golf game? Visit with one of Sweet Shots' PGA teaching pros. Hungry? They have a full food and beverage menu too. Try your shot in one of 60 climate control hitting suites or one of 5 indoor full swing simulators that include golf, hockey, hunting, football, soccer, and zombie dodgeball. Make the trip to 3400 James Way South in Fargo or visit sweetshots.com for much more.
And welcome back to Kindred on a beautiful evening in Kindred, North Dakota. Fargo Post 400, the Astros step up to the plate at the top of the second inning. High pop fly. Foul territory. Jack Packer comes over, makes the catch. And Colston Sen is out on a pitch. He's a leadoff hitter. Fargo Post 400 sending hitters 6, 7, and 8 up to the plate. Colston Sen on the first pitch pops up Mason Almera's pitch into foul territory, and he's out for the first out of the inning. Jackson Sturma steps to the plate. He's the third baseman. Did a lot of courtesy running in the first game. Takes ball 1. Left-handed hitter. Playing at third base. Takes strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mason Almaris kicks and fires. Off-speed breaking ball type of a pitch. Away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cade Olhauser on deck. He's a shortstop. And here's called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a 2-2. Fastball down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mason Almaris, the pitcher, throwing to his battery mate, Jeremiah Doctor. And here's the 3-2. Fastball fouled away. That'll reach the park. Good PA announcer Paul Quislin begging the kids to go find that baseball. Go turn it in to get some candy from the concession stand as Mason Almaris delivers ball 4 to Jackson Sturma in a 1-out walk. Brings Cade Olshauser to the plate. He's the shortstop.
We are getting an update in here too for those that want to know. Dakota Fusion up 2 against LCRS. They have 1. 2-1 at halftime.
Ball 1 to Olhauser. 1 out, runner on first base. First walk issued by Almaris. Here's a ground ball foul. Almaris has a 1 strikeout. We're early on. It's only the top of the second inning. 7-inning ball game. Again, the Post 400, Fargo Post 400 Astros win the first game by a score of 3-2 in a very well-pitched game on both ends of the diamond. Foul ball for Olhauser, and he finds himself down on the count 1-2. Josh Tandiske, the catcher, is on deck. And it's a 1-2 count. To the hitter, Olhauser. Breaking ball, inside ball one. Runner goes, and the throw is towards right field and not in time to get Jackson Sturma as he steals second base. Pitch was a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes a count to Olhauser. Stolen base. Almaris looks on. Kicks, fires, fastball popped in the air. High in the infield. Almaris calls for it himself. It's right on the mound. And he makes a catch. A lot of times you want your infielders to come in and make that catch and call off the pitcher, but I don't know what to tell you when the ball's popped up right on top of the mound. Almaris, a very athletic ball player, able to call it, make the catch. And that's a second out. That'll bring up Josh Tandesky, the catcher. He's also a left-handed hitter. Where's number 4? And the pitch, ground ball to the right side. Booted by Glasso. He's got some time, and he will not be able to come up with the ball. That's going to be an error on the second baseman, Glasso. Sturma reaches third base, was not far enough to advance. Glasso knocked it down. Errors did hurt the Kindred Vikings in that first game. There were 2 unearned runs given up. And Tandesky will have a courtesy runner. And that is number 15. That is one Brady Hecker. He played shortstop in that first game. He'll courtesy run for the catcher. Back to the top of the order for the Astros. That's Ethan Dahl at the plate. He's 1 for 1. Had a single in the first and scored a run. Ground ball to the left side. Long throw across the diamond by Jack Wold. Over to Jack Packer, who makes the play. Beautiful backhanded play in the hole by Jack Wold, and that saves a run. That's a 6-3 putout. No runs scored that inning. There were no hits. There was 1 error on Kindred and 2 runners left on base. At the end of, we go to the middle of the second inning. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 4-1 over the Astros. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magazine Sports.
Doolittle's Wood-Fire Grill is an experience that ignites your senses, featuring wood-fired rotisserie cooking. Grilling meat over an open flame creates that savory wood-roasted flavor, while the rotisserie rotation results in juicy and succulent meats. Doolittle's even has an outdoor fire pit that creates a relaxing setting to wine and dine for any occasion. Visit DoolittlesRestaurants.com for a full menu or to make a reservation. Doolittle's Wood-Fire Grill, 2112 25th Street South in Fargo, or call ahead at 701-478-2200.
Welcome back to Kindred. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier on Magnitude Sports, bringing you American Legion Baseball. Kindred Vikings batting in the bottom of the second. They dropped 4 runs on the Astros in the bottom of the first inning. Xander Rath to lead off. The Vikings will send their 9 1-2 hitters to the plate. Rath shows bunt, takes ball upstairs, two balls and no strikes. Xander Rath, tall right-handed hitter. And the 2-0 pitch, he shows bunt again, and this time he went and offered at that pitch, and it will be strike 1. And here's a pitch. Another bunt is bunted in the air, and Jiskra is able to pick it off in the air. We'll call that a pop-up to the pitcher. And there's 1 away. Back to the top of the order for the Kindred Vikings, Mason Almaris, who led off the bottom of the first inning with a long triple to left center field. Nearly thrown out at third base, and then he scored on a sacrifice fly and was nearly thrown out at the plate. But called safe on both occasions. Takes strike one here. Kylan Swenson is on deck. And here's the 0-1. Off speed, pop foul over the press box, and it's 0-2. And here's a pitch from number 1, Jiska. Off-speed pitch fouled away again. The count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. Both pitchers now at 33 pitches. Jiska still trying to work his way through the second inning. Here's the 0-2. Fastball outside, ball 1. And here's the 1-2 from Jiska. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mason Almaris still at the plate. Trying to find his way on base. Here's a pitch from Jiska. Trying to prevent that. Throws ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a 3-2. Fastball popped in the air, foul. That's towards the press box.
Yeah, we could almost got that one. Get your glove.
Yeah. Don't have my glove up here. I have my sunglasses, got my keys, got about everything else. Didn't bring my glove up here. Never had one come into the press box tonight. Or ever. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Jiskra. Fastball, swinging a long drive. Well, short drive into center field, and it's going to fall in front of the center fielder. Off the bat, it kind of fooled me. I thought the ball was hit harder than that. Kind of blooped out into center field and falls in there for a base hit for Mason Almaris. Center fielder Christofferson came in hard and tried to make that play, but just couldn't quite get there. That brings up Kylan Swenson, who was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Here's a pitch to Swenson. Is not even close. Pitches a ball, throw down to second base as Almaris is trying to steal second. The ball sails into center field, but not in time, or not far enough for Almaris to reach third base. So he gets credit for the stolen base. No error on the play. He was stealing. Can't assume he's going to throw him out. Pitch was a strike, actually, to Kylan Swenson. And here's the 0-1 pitch. I said the pitch wasn't even close, but I meant the throw wasn't even close down to second base, as Kylan Swenson does take ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hit by a pitch in the first inning and came around to score. 1-1 is outside, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kylan Swenson, right-handed hitter. Speedster. Here's a pitch, fastball, called strike 2. Swenson didn't appreciate the home plate umpire's call. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coach Josh Almaris coaching at third. Coach Nick Eggman coaching at first base for the Vikings. And the pitch, fastball away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on second. 1 down. And the pitch. Fastball. Swing and a line drive into right field, down for a base hit. Almaris being waved home. And there will not be a play at the plate. And he comes across safely on an RBI single to right field for Kylan Swenson. And that brings up Nick Thompson as Almaris scores his second run of the ball game. Makes it a 5-1 score in favor of the Kindred Vikings. American Legion Baseball and Magnitude Sports. Broadcast powered by MLGC with faster fiber optic internet service. Kylan Swenson's got some serious speed at first base. He takes off. First pitch is called a ball, I believe. And the throw down to second base is not in time to get the speedster, Kylan Swenson. So he steals a bag. There's still one out. The pitch was called a strike to Nick Thompson. Thompson had a sacrifice fly back in the first inning to right field. So no official at-bat for him. And here's a pitch. It's a ball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. On your Kindred Express Lane scoreboard, it's 5-1 in favor of the Kindred Vikings over the Fargo Post 400 Astros. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gavin Jisker on the mound. He's up to 47 pitches here in the bottom of the second inning. And the pitch. Fastball away. Gets away from the catcher, Tandesky, and Kylan Swenson speeds into third base. That'll be a pass ball. Right in the catcher Tandesky's glove, and it was able to get away from him and enough for Kylan Swenson to get a good read and move down to third base. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Nick Thompson. Called ball 4, and Nick Thompson will take his base. Thompson's a big dude, but he can run a little bit. He stole the base in the first game. Graham Glasso steps to the plate. He had an RBI single back in the first inning and came around to score a run. Now there'll be a meeting of the minds out at the mound, and it looks like we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. So we'll take a break in the middle of the, in the bottom of the second inning, and we're going to have ourselves a pitching change as Jiska is going to exit the ball game as the pitcher, and Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 5-1. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at kindredstatebank.com.
Santana Concrete LLC in Barnesville comes highly recommended from their customers. But don't take our word for it, take theirs. Dan states that the team is
polite, friendly, and efficient.
Lee tells us that
quality work for a fair price is hard to find.
Here's Mike from Post 400 Baseball.
Santana Concrete did a wonderful job laying the concrete foundation for our new press box.
And Jasmine shares
they do amazing work.
Check them out by searching Santana Concrete LLC on Facebook or call 218-790-6560.
And welcome back to Kindred. Got some defensive replacements for the Astros. Chase Lura comes in from right field, and he'll come in to pitch. And the pitcher, Gavin Jiskra, moves out to right field. So Jiskra now in right field. It was Chase Lura that closed out and got himself a save in the first ball game, as the Astros beat the Vikings in that first game 3-2. Chase Lure comes in, trying to work himself out of a inherited jam, and he throws strike 1 to the cleanup hitter, Graham Glasso, the second baseman. Glasso's 1 for 1 with an RBI single and a run scored. Chase Lure on the mound, throws pretty hard. He's got runners on first and third with only 1 out. And the pitch, fastball in the dirt. Does not get away from the catcher far enough for Nick Thompson to advance. Count rolls along at 1 ball and 1 strike. Thin right-handed pitcher, Chase Lura. Throws very hard, throws over to first base, not in time. Checking the runner, Nick Thompson, over at first. American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. Beautiful evening in Kindred. There's no wind whatsoever. Breaking ball is away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful evening for the ball game. Good concession stand, good cheeseburgers, good hot dogs. Excellent night to watch some baseball. And the pitch is fouled back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremiah Doctor's on deck for the Vikings. Chase Lura looks in at his catcher. Tandeschi shakes him off. Time or 2. And the 2-2 pitch is a breaking ball, grounded up the third base line, and it'll go foul. That's Kylan Swenson over on third base. Nick Thompson is on first base after his walk. 1 run is in this inning. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 5-1. Bottom of the second inning in game 2 of a doubleheader. And here's a 2-2 from Lura. Fastball away and low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lura relieves the starting pitcher, Gavin Jiskra. Goes an inning and a third. Responsible for the runners on first and third base. Swing and a miss by Glasso, and he goes down on strikes. Lura comes in and gets a strikeout. It's a huge strikeout for Chase Lura because the another run is over on third base. Ground ball, sacrifice fly, something like of that nature. Scores a run, but instead he strikes out Glasso for the second out of the inning. That brings up the catcher, Jeremiah Doctor, who rocked a double to right center field in the first inning and later came around to score. It was an RBI double as well for Doctor, so he's 1 for 1. Run scored, run batted in. Has runners at first and third with 2 outs. Chase Lura looks on, kicks and fires. Fastball hit high in the air to left field. Dahl's got it measured. He makes the catch. And that completes 2 innings. In the bottom of the second inning, the Kindred Vikings come up with 1 run. There were 2 hits and 2 runners left on base. At the end of 2 innings, the Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 5-1 over the Post 400 Astros. You're watching Legion Baseball on Magnitude.
Kindred Express Lane is a friendly, locally owned convenience store open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and offers hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Kindred Express Lane is located at 220 First Avenue South across the street from the baseball and football field, just 3 inches away from Highway 15 in Kindred. While you're fueling up, be sure and grab a snack and a cold beverage for the road. Kindred Express Lane wishes the Kindred Post 117 Vikings the best of luck. Go Vikings!
Sports, I'm Mike Bernier, along with Wendy Bernier. Sam Bernier just wandered into the press box, enjoying some baseball on a beautiful night in Kindred. Fargo Post 400 Astros coming to bat. They'll have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming to bat against a right-handed pitcher, Mason Almaris. This is the second game of a doubleheader. Once again, the Astros beat the Kindred Vikings by a score of 3-2 in the first game. Very well pitched ball game on both ends for both teams. Very fun game to watch. Mason Almaris will face Ashton Renas. Renas was 3 for 3 in that first game with an intentional walk. He grounded out in the first inning, and now on the first pitch he gets beaned, and he'll go down to first base on the hit batsman. So the leadoff hitter aboard for the Astros brings up Alex Christopherson, the center fielder. He grounded out to second back in the first, so he's 0 for 1. Right-handed hitter, Alex Christopherson playing a fine game out in center field. Had an outfield assist as the left fielder in the first game. However, he caught the ball in almost straightaway center field and threw Jack Packer out at the plate. 1-0 to him. Alex Christopherson, the batter. Runner on first, nobody out. Fastball ripped into center field. This ball's hit pretty well. Back goes Kylan Swenson. He'll make the catch, get it back into the infield. Hard hit ball by Christopherson, but it's a fly out to center field. And that's 1 out. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Gus Weremeyer. Weremeyer drove in the only run so far in this game for the Astros with an RBI single in the top of the first inning. Scored the leadoff hitter, Ethan Dahl. So 1 out, runner on first base. Chase Lures on deck. First pitch is ball 1. And Almaris checks a runner, kicks and fires, fastball. Outside, ball 2. 1 run on 2 hits and no errors for the Astros. Vikings with 5 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. And here's a 2-0 pitch from Almaris. It's a fastball down low, 3 balls and no strikes.
All right, fight back. Get a strike, then get a fly ball. Let's go.
Gus Weremeyer, left-handed hitter, had that go-ahead sacrifice fly in the first game. He's got an RBI single this game. Takes strike 1, 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count. Weremeyer's in that cleanup spot. Plays first base. Bats left, throws left. And the 3-1. Swinging a ground ball over to first base, past Jack Packer into right field. Xander Rath gets it into the infield. And there's runners on first and second. After the base hit for Weremeyer, he's 2 for 2 now. Renus down to second base. That'll bring up Chase Lura. Now the pitcher started out in right field. He's pitching now. He's 0 for 1. He went down looking on strikes to end the first inning. Got something brewing here. Let's see if they lay down a bunt. The R4 runs down behind. He does show bunt and fouls it back to the screen. Strike 1. Renus on the first pitch gets hit by the pitch. Then a fly out by Christopherson down Weremeyer, singles. And there's runners on first and second. Here's a pitch, off-speed pitch over for strike 2. Lura did not show bunt on that. Very doubtful he'll show bunt on this with 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Almaris. Fastball, swing and a ground ball up the middle. Glasso can't make the backhand, and they're going to hold the runner, Renus, up at the plate as a throw comes in from the center fielder, Kylan Swenson. And now the bases are loaded with only 1 out. Ashton Renus over to third. Weremeyer makes it into second base, and Chase Lura has himself a base hit up the middle. And the bases are loaded. Glasso went to his backhand side and attempted to knock that ball down, but couldn't do so. Ball sneaks out into center field for the base hit. Colston Sen is the batter. He's a second baseman. He's 0 for 1 with a pop foul to the first baseman, Jack Packer. That was to lead off the second inning. Takes ball 1. Almaris looking to work his way out of a jam. He's got a 5-1 lead. However, the bases are loaded. And the pitch, fastball hit high in the air. Center field, Kylan Swenson's got it measured. He makes a catch. Throw to the plate is a good one, and Renus does not even try to score on that one. That's a second out. Renus is holding his hands up, talking to his coach. I think he was told to go, but his hands are up in the air, and coach is talking to him over there and thinking that he should have tried to score on that ball, on that play. But he does not, so Sen flies out to center field, and that's a second out. Base is still loaded with Jackson Sturma to the plate. He walked in the second inning, stole a base, but it was eventually stranded at third. Strike 1 to him. Left-handed hitter Jackson Sturma. He's the third baseman. Off-speed pitch ripped into right field. That's a base hit and down. 1 run is in, and Wehrmeyer will be held up at third base as Xander Rath was able to get the ball in quickly into the infield. But Jackson Sturmo laces a 2-out base hit into right field. It's an RBI single. Renus does score, so nothing hurt on that misplay. Wehrmeyer gets to third. Lura down to second. Bases loaded. Olhauser grounds it up the middle. Base hit. 1 run is in. And now they're holding up the runner again at third base as the throw comes all the way in from Kylan Swenson. That'll hold up the runners. But another run scores, and the Astros cut the lead down to 5-3. And Coach Josh Elmaris will come out to talk to his pitcher. Olhauser grounds one up the middle for an RBI single. Wehrmeyer scores. Makes it 5-3. Lura is held up at third base. Nobody really challenging the arm of Kylan Swenson out in center field, and rightfully so. He's got a good one. Josh Tandesky, the catcher, will bat after this meeting of the minds out on the mound. Trying to discuss what's next here for the Kindred Vikings. And also to settle down his pitcher. Try to give him a little bit of breathing room here to see if he can't work through this. Almaris will stay on the mound. Josh Almaris, the head coach, that is his son, Mason Almaris, out on the mound. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Astros. Kindred Vikings with 5 runs on the 6 hits. Astros have something brewing here. There's 2 outs and the bases are juiced. Josh Tandesky is 0 for 1. He reached on an error by the second baseman back in the second. Takes strike 1. Left-handed hitter. Trying to tie this ball game up. Almaris decides to pitch out of the windup instead of the stretch. Throws ball 1. Almaris up to 51 pitches now, which isn't too bad. Over most of 3 innings. And the 1-1 fastball away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Fargo post 400 Astros trying to close out this lead here. Swinging a foul back into the trees and into the park. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Almaris trying to minimize the damage. Astros trying to maximize the damage. And here's the 2-2. Breaking ball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now with 2 outs and a full count, the runners will be running on this next pitch. Almaris chooses to pitch out of the windup, so they'll get a nice running lead here. And there they go. Here's the pitch, swinging a foul. Call this the windmill or the merry-go-round. Everybody's running. Everybody knows it. Interestingly enough, Almaris is pitching out of the windup, which allows the runners to get themselves a running lead. Here's a pitch, ground ball to the left side, through for a base hit. And because there was 2 outs, 2 runners are going to score. And because there was a full count and everybody was running, 2 runs will score, and this ball game is tied. Josh Tandesky, a 2-run single to the left side, into left field, ties this ball game at 5. Lura scores. Sturma scores. Olhauser holds up at second base. We got ourselves a tie ball game, folks. Back to the top of the order, Ethan Dahl. And the Astros will bat around here. Ethan Dahl's the leadoff hitter. He's a 9th man to bat this inning. Here's a pitch. Fastball called strike 1. Ethan Dahl is 1 for 2. He singled in the first and scored a run and grounded out to the shortstop in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Almaris. Breaking ball in the dirt. It's going to get away from Jeremiah Doctor, and the runners will move up on the wild pitch. Should note that Tandesky with the 2-run single again is being pinch ran for by number 15 Brady Hecker. Courtesy runner out at second base. Here's the 1-1 fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 2. to Ethan Dahl. Ethan Dahl with a base hit to the outfield can make this a 2-run ball game in favor of the Astros. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, swinging a foul. Interestingly enough, that hit his bat a couple of times on that. Fouled it, and it went kind of behind him, and on a follow-through swing, hit the ball again. Counts as just one foul ball, however. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a high pop fly foul down the right field line. No chance for Rath as that's out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kindred Vikings came into this inning with a 5-1 lead. Astros have tied it up at 5. And here's the 1-2 pitch again from Almaris. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on third and second. Almaris up to 62 pitches now. Maris looks on, checks a runner at second, kicks and fires, fastball way upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not the end of the world if you walk him here. You don't want to walk here, but the first base is open. And Almaris steps off, checks the runner back. A lot of energy in the ballpark. Both teams kind of cheering each other's players on. A lot of energy.
Dugouts are noisy, yeah.
And here's a 3-2. Fastball swing and a line drive foul down the right field line. Again, nobody had a chance at that ball. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Yeah, a lot of cheering from both sides.
This is fun. This is good old American Legion baseball. Gotta love it. Here's a 3-2 from Almaris. Kicks and fires. Fastball. Called strike 3. He struck him out. However, Dahl goes down on strikes. However, they do come up with 4 runs. Oh, man, I count 5 hits that inning. There were no errors by Kindred, and 2 runners were left on base. We head to the middle of the 3rd inning, and we're tied at 5. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Buffalo Wild Wings isn't supposed to make a burger this good. Like, you might even forget we have wings good. So we threw in 6 boneless wings for $1 as a reminder. Buy any burger, get 6 boneless wings for $1. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Abby says she wants to marry a B-Dubs Honey Barbecue wing. We get the sweet, tangy allure of honey barbecue sauce, but you can't marry a chicken wing. What are you going to serve at the wedding? Their family? 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Santana Concrete LLC in Barnesville comes highly recommended from their customers. But don't take our word for it, take theirs. Dan states that the team is
polite, friendly, and efficient.
Lee tells us that
quality work for a fair price is hard to find.
Here's Mike from Post 400 Baseball.
Santana Concrete did a wonderful job laying the concrete foundation for our new press box.
And Jasmine shares
they do amazing work.
Check them out by searching Santana Concrete LLC on Facebook or call 218-790-6560.
We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kindred Vikings come to bat. Fargo posts 400. The Astros drop 4 runs on the Vikings in the top of the 3rd and tie this ball game up at 5 apiece. Jack Wold, the hitter. Leadoff hitter for the Vikings. He's got a 2-1 count on him. And the pitch is fouled back over the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack Wold is 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in the 1st. Vikings will send the 6, 7, 8 hitters to the plate. Jack Wold, Jack Packer, and Stanley Belaski. Xander Rath would bat if somebody reaches. And here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball laced into right field. That's a base hit. Jack Wold is 2 for 2. Solid line drive single into right. Chase Lura on the mound for the Astros. He came in a tough spot. He had runners at first and third in the bottom of the second inning, and he was able to strike out Glasso and get Doctor to fly out to left field. So he's gotten out the first 2 men that he faced. Now he gives up a line drive single to Jack Wold. Throw over to first base is fairly close, but Jack Wold dives back safely. Jack Wold has some speed. He'll be looking to get himself into scoring position. Jack Packer at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to the third baseman. And Lura kicks and fires. It's a fastball called strike 1. Lura closed out the first game, so he's pitched in both games now. Closed out, got himself a save in the first game. And he only faced 3 hitters in that first game. And he's faced 3 hitters so far. He's gotten 5 of the 6 out that he's faced today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball way outside. And Wold won't have to steal second. He'll trot down to second base on the wild pitch. 1-1 the count. Jack Packer. Jack Packer, the first baseman. He's got some power. Looking to give the Vikings a lead here. Lura trying to prevent that. Kicks and fires, fastball, swing and a miss at a high fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hits are even at 7 apiece. The runs are even at 5 apiece. No errors for the Astros today. There's a ground ball to the left side. Diving play by the third baseman. Can't come up with it. Throw by the shortstop is in time to get the out. That'll go down as a 5-6-3 putout as the third baseman Sturma knocks it over to Olhauser, the shortstop, who's able to throw out Jack Packer at first base as Gus Wehrmeyer, the first baseman for the Astros, picks it out. And that's a 5-6-3 putout, and there's 1 away. Wold is able to move up to third base, however, and that'll bring up Stanley Belaski, the left fielder. He's 0 for 1. He popped out to the first baseman to end the first. Nice play defensively by the Astros. Here's a ground ball chopper, knocked down by the third baseman, and he won't have time to make a play. That'll go as an error. Belaski reaches. He'll get an RBI. It's an E5, so that's the first error for the Astros in today's ball games. Run batted in, however, for Belaski as Jack Wold comes across the plate to score the go-ahead run. Makes it a 6-5 ball game in favor of the Kindred Vikings. Here's Lura's pitch. It's down low and in the dirt. Xander Rath, the batter. He's 0 for 1. He popped up to the pitcher on a bunt attempt in the second inning. Stanley Belaski on at first base. He's got some speed. Throw over to first base is not in time. Chase Lura on the hill. Gets his sign. Kicks and fires. Belaski goes on the pitch, and there will be no throw. The ball was outside and low. Tandeschi didn't really have a good chance to come up cleanly with that ball and make a throw down to second base, so Belaski steals second. Pitches a ball. It's 2-0 to Xander Rath. And here's a pitch, swinging a foul ball over our heads in the press box. American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. Broadcast powered by MLGC with faster fiber optic internet service. 2-1 the count. To the hitter, Xander Rath. And the pitch. Fastball is bunted in the air, and it's going to land fair, and the pitcher, Lura, touches it. That's a fair ball and an infield base hit for Rath. Had he fielded that, there was no way possible that he was going to throw out Rath at first base. The wise play there is to let it go foul if possible. You might get that backspin on the ball, but I think that would have stayed fair. But Lura touched the ball and knocked it into foul territory, so when he touched the ball, it was fair, so it goes down as a fair baseball. That'll bring us to the top of the order in Mason Almaris, and he takes strike one. Almaris is 2 for 2 with a booming triple in the first, bloop single in the second. He's got 2 runs scored and a stolen base. 1 out, runners in first and second. Speed on the base paths. And the pitch, ground ball hard to the shortstop, into the hole for a base hit. Runners being waved home, he'll come and score easily. As Boloski scores, Rath reaches second base on an RBI smash single to left field. Into the hole, great effort by the shortstop, Kate Olhauser. 7-5 lead in favor of the Kindred Vikings. Kylan Swenson, the hitter. He's 1 for 1. Has an RBI single, and he was hit by a pitch. Swing and chops one at the plate. Foul. Nick Thompson's on deck. Runners at first and second once again. Chase Lura relieved Gavin Jiskra last inning in the second. Worked out of a jam. I was giving up 2 runs on a couple of hits this inning. Ball 1 to Kylan Swenson. Kylan Swenson was hit by a pitch in the first, came around to score, then had an RBI single in the second. 1 for 1 officially. And here's a 1-1 pitch from Lura. Fastball away, 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 runs in on 3 hits this inning for the Kindred Vikings. Chase Lura trying to minimize the damage. Trying to work his way out of this jam. Kylan Swenson's a very speedy runner. He's very difficult to double up as he takes a fastball upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. Rath has some speed at second base. Mason Almaris has some speed at first base. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss by Kylan Swenson. Full count. Full count, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Beautiful evening. Moon shining bright out in left field. And the pitch, fastball, right down the middle, strike 3 called on Kylan Swenson. He goes down looking. It's a second out of the inning. So Kylan Swenson strikes out, brings up Nick Thompson. Nick Thompson walked and chased Jiskra, the starting pitcher, back in the second. So Nick Thompson in the first inning had a sacrifice fly to right field. Walked in the second. No official at-bat. Does have an RBI. Pitches a breaking ball inside, ball 1. Nick Thompson has some power, so if he could gap one here, he's got good speed on the base paths, like I mentioned earlier. Could score a couple of runs with a gapper. Here's the 1-0 from Lura. Fastball down low, 2 balls and no strikes. In a high school game here, I saw Nick Thompson hit one over the scoreboard in left center field. That was quite the blast. A couple of seasons ago. Here's a 2-0 hitter's count from Chase Lura, and the pitch. Fastball, swing and grounded towards third base. Sturm's got it, fires over to first base wildly, and it'll get by. 1 run will score. Another being waved home. No play at the plate. Thompson reaches second base. 2 runs score on the infield error The throwing error on the third baseman, Sturma. So Rath scores. Almaris comes across the score. And 4 runs are in this inning, and the Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 9-5. Nick Thompson reaches on the error by the third baseman, and he reaches second base on that same error. And that'll bring up Graham Glasso, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Swing and a foul to Glasso. It's 0-1 the count. 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors now for the Astros. Vikings with 9 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Graham Glasso at the plate. Jeremiah Doctor is on deck. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball. Misses low. Ball 1. Check swing. They appeal out to the base umpire. He did not swing. Graham Glasso singled in the first, scored a run, and struck out in the second inning against Lura. Glasso was the first batter that Lura faced. And the 1-1. Swinging a ground ball over to third base. Sturmer's got another chance. Fires across a diamond. Not in time. Oh, he called him out. He called him out. That'll end the inning. Kindred Vikings come up with 4 runs. There were 3 hits and 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3 innings, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 9-5. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Bottom of the third, now lead 9-5.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
And we're back in Kindred. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 9-5 over the Fargo Post 400 Astros. Second game of a doubleheader. Astros already run the first game. Ashton Renas leads it off in the top of the 4th inning for the Astros. He's 0 for 1 officially. Grounded out in the first, was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 3rd inning. 0-2 the count. Almaris misses with a ball. Fastball upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Almaris kicks and fires a fastball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Stay smooth out there now.
Number 8, Mason Almaris on the mound. His next pitch will be his 70th. And here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, swinging a ground ball over to third. Pass Nick Thompson down the line. Renas has himself a base hit. He'll stop at first with a single down the left field line. Thompson tried to backhand that ball, but couldn't quite get there. It's a leadoff single for Renas. I've said that a lot today. In the first game, Renas had 3 singles, and they were all to lead off that inning. He does it again for the 4th time. In today's ball games, he's led off an inning with a base hit. Alex Christopherson is the batter. He's 0 for 2. Takes ball 1 in the dirt, and Renas will easily reach second base on the wild pitch. 5 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors for the Astros. Vikings have 9 runs on 9 hits, and they've committed 1 error today in this ball game. Here's a 1-0 from Almaris. The pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Alex Christopherson has Gus Wehrmeyer on deck. And here's the 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, and that's going to be far enough for Renas to reach third base on another wild pitch. Pitch, of course, is a ball. It's 2-1 the count.
Got some action down there in the bullpen, too, going on.
Yes, indeed, for the Astros. I saw number 2, Colston Sen, down there warming up. Nobody in the bullpen for the Kindred Vikings. Again, Almaris decides to pitch out of the windup with a runner on third. The pitch is a fastball, called for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. 74 pitches now thrown by Almaris. Nobody out. Runner on third, and the pitch, fastball, grounded sharply up the middle. Fielded by Jack Wold. He throws on to Jack Packer. There's 1 out, 1 run scores, and Ashton Arenas comes across to score his second run of the ball game. And the Astros cut the lead to 3 by a score of 9-6 in favor of the Kindred Vikings. So an RBI ground out, 6-3, first out of the inning. Run batted in for Christopherson. Brings up Gus Wehrmeyer. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Swinging a high fly ball into center field. Kylan Swenson's got it measured. He makes a catch. The lights are on here in Kindred. Fly ball out to center field, records the second out on the first pitch to Wehrmeyer. Chase Lure now the batter. He started the game in right field and has come in to pitch. He struck out looking to end the first inning and singled in the third inning and came around to score. First pitch is a ball. And here's the 1-0. Fastball, swing and a miss. Number 8, Mason Almaris. Looking to work his way through this inning. Breaking ball, swinging a line drive to right center field. That's going to reach the gap and pass Xander Rath in right field. He cuts it off. There will not be a play at second base, however, so a solid double, a 2-out double for Chase Lura. Hit it into the gap. Rath did a pretty good job of tracking it down before it got to the fence. Threw it in. But Chase Lura running quickly out of the box and running hard the whole way. Stretched that long single into a double. And that'll bring up Colston Sen, who was 0 for 2. He popped up to the first baseman in foul territory in the second inning, and he flew it to the center fielder in the third. Mason Almaris starts him off with a ball. Colston Sen, the hitter. And the pitch, swinging a foul ball. Strike 1. Sen was the one warming up in the bullpen for the Astros. We'll see if he comes in to pitch this next inning. Jackson Sturma on deck. And here's a 1-1. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch is a fastball grounded to the second base side. Glasso has it, throws on to Jack Packer for the out. The Rustad Sand and Gravel line score that inning. 1 run for Fargo Post 400. They had 2 hits that inning. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. Head to the middle of the 4th inning. The Vikings lead by a score of 9-6 over the Astros. We're watching American League Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
Try to pick up on the defensive changes for the post 400 Astros. Colston Sen is in the pitch. He was playing at second base. We believe the pitcher, Chase Lura, went back into right field. Jiskra moves out to left field, we think. Sturma stays at third base. So I'm not sure if Ethan Dahl's out of the ball game or not. Ethan Dahl's over at second base. That's where he went. He came in and he's over at second base. Jiskara moves from right field to left. That should round out the changes. Colson Sen on the pitch. Right-hander kicks and fires. He's got a 1-1 count on the batter. Jeremiah Doctor. The Vikings will send up the 5, 6, 7 hitters. Jeremiah Doctor, Jack Wold, Jack Packer. 1-1 count. Here's a pitch from Sen. Fastball away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jeremiah Doctor's 1 for 2 with a booming RBI double and a fly out to left field. That ended the threat in the second inning. And the pitch. Strike called. Jeremiah Doctor's batted 3 times and he's faced 3 different pitchers in this ball game. Faced Jiskra in the first, Lura in the second, and now Colston Sen. He's got a 2-2 count. And the pitch. Fastball swinging a ground ball smash. Fielded nicely by the first baseman, Weremeyer. Sorry that ball was hit hard. I didn't have time to move the camera over there, but Weremeyer made a nice backhand play. Took it himself over to first base, so it's a 3 unassisted put out. And there's 1 down. Brings up Jack Wold. Jack Wold is 2 for 2. Had an RBI single in the first inning. Singled to lead off the third and came around to score. 9-6 lead in favor of the Kindred Vikings. Bottom of the 4th inning. Second game of a doubleheader. Bringing you both games of this doubleheader. Fargo post 400. The Astros in town to face the Kindred Vikings. 2-0 the count to Jack Wold. And the pitch, fastball, down low, 3 balls and no strikes. Jack Packer's on deck. And here's a 3-0. Fastball over, strike 1. And here's a 3-1 from Sen. Fastball laced into right center field. That's down for a hit. And Lura will cut it off and hold Jack Wold to another single. Jack Wold's now 3 for 3 with 3 base hits. Brings up the first baseman, Jack Packer. He's 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts over to third. The first one was just your routine ground ball, 5-3. The second one was a hard hit ground ball that the third baseman deflected to the shortstop, who threw him out at first. So it was a 5-6-3 put out. Kind of an unusual play, but the third baseman made a dive for it, kicked it over to the shortstop, who made the throw over at first base to get Jack Packer. Jack Packer, big right-handed hitter. He's got some power. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Throw down to second base on the steal. It's going to be in time for the out, I believe. Yes, indeed. Jack Wold is thrown out stealing. 2-4 on the putout on the caught stealing, second out of the inning. Pitch was a strike on the swing and the miss by Jack Packer. 0-1 the count with 2 down, nobody on. And Sen's pitch is an off-speed pitch upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Third pitcher of the game for the Astros. Jiskra started. Lura came in relief. Now Sen to start the inning. Here's a ground ball foul.
Come on, Jack, go get.
2 outs. 9 runs on 10 hits and 1 error for the Kindred Vikings. The Astros 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. And here's a swing and a miss, and Jack Packer goes down on strikes. No runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, no runners left on base. At the end of 4 on the rusted sand and gravel line score. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 9-6 over the Astros. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcasted on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to him today.
I kind of wonder where to even begin about what I love about Touchmark. It's everything. It's the time with the residents. It's my team. I work with wonderful individuals every single day. I love the people, and my job is to connect with them, and that's a pretty great job to have, that you get to make genuine, real connections with our residents and our team members. It's just the overall community. That is Touchmark. That's what I love.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
And we're back on Magnitude Sports, bringing you American Legion Baseball. Josh Almaris will kick and fire for the Vikings. It's a fastball grounded over to first base. Jack Packer plays a hop, and he'll step on the base to get Jackson Sturma, the leadoff hitter in the top of the 5th inning for the Astros. Sturma had been 1 for 1 with an RBI single and a run scored and a walk. On the first pitch, he grounds it out to Jack Packer. 3 unassisted is a putout, and there's one away. Almaris facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters. That'll bring up Cade Olhauser, the shortstop. Starts off Olhauser with a strike. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a pop-up. Shortstop Olhauser takes ball 1. And here's a pitch from Almaris. It's a fastball hit hard up the middle, and that's going to bleed into center field for a base hit. Olhauser has a second hit. 10th hit for the Astros. Both teams now have 10 hits. Brings up the 9th hole hitter, Josh Tandesky, the catcher. He reached on an error in the 2nd inning and had a big 2-run single back in the 3rd. Left-handed hitter. 1 out, runner on first. Almaris pitching out of the windup, throws over to first base, not in time to get Olhauser. Now here's a pitch from Almaris. It's a fastball hit hard over to left field, and that's going to fall in front of Belaski for a base hit. No chance to get the runner at second base. Hard hit single into left field for Tandesky, and runners at first and second with only 1 out. Brings us to the top of the order. And Ethan Dahl. Ethan Dahl's now playing at second base. Started the game in left field. And again, running for the catcher, Brady Hecker. He'll be the courtesy runner on at first base. And the first pitch to Ethan Dahl is a ball. Ethan Dahl's the leadoff hitter, so we're back to the top of the order. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a scored run in the first. He grounded out in the second, struck out in the third. Here's a high pop fly foul, kind of a no man's land, and it's going to fall between 3 players hustling after the baseball down the right field line. Strike 1 to Ethan Dahl. Mason Almaris on the hill, throwing a pretty good ball game. 11 hits now for the Astros. Down by 3, top of the 5th. Breaking ball, swing and a line drive into right field. That is a fair ball and another hit. There's going to be somewhat of a play at the plate, and they do not choose to make the throw as Packer gets it into the infield here. And the 12th hit for the Astros scores Olhauser from second base. And they cut the lead down to 9-7 as Tandesky, his courtesy runner, will stop at second base in Hecker. Ethan Dahl's got himself his second hit of the game with an RBI single to right field. Meeting the minds out on the hill once again. Doesn't look like Josh Almaris is going to make a pitching change, so we'll keep it right here. 7 runs and 12 hits and 2 errors for the Fargo Post 400 Astros. For the Kindred Vikings, 9 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. At one time, the Kindred Vikings had themselves a 5-1 lead, but the Astros dropped 4 runs in the third inning to tie it at 5, but then the Kindred Vikings answered right back with 4 runs of their own in the bottom of the third. That made it 9-5 at the time. Now the Astros chipping away with 1 in the 4th, now 1 in the 5th. 1 out, runners in first and second, 1 run already in. 12 base hits for the Astros. Now batting will be Ashton Renas. He has 1 of the 12 hits. Fastball, swing and a miss, or swing and a foul to the screen. Renas grounded out in the first inning, was hit by a pitch in the third and came around to score, and singled in to lead off the 4th inning and came around to score again. Here's the 0-1, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 2.
Now you're way out.
Almaris trying to minimize that damage once again. Astros, of course, trying to maximize that damage. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball. In the dirt, gets away from Jeremiah Doctor. The runners will move up on the wild pitch. Hecker down to third base. Dahl moves up to second. Tying run is now in scoring position. Base hit to the outfield. Could tie this ball game up. Designated hitter, Ashton Renas. And the 1-2, swing and a foul to the screen.
He was swinging for the fences on that one.
Yeah, he took a big old hack. Fouled it to the screen. And here's the 1-2. Swing and a ground ball to the right side. Glasso kicks it a little bit momentarily, throws on to first base to record the out. A run does come across to score as Hecker comes across to score. The infield was not playing in, and wisely Glasso was able to knock it down. Bobbled it momentarily, but was able to throw out Ashton Renas at first for the second out of the inning. Dahl does move up to third base. More importantly for the Astros, it cuts the lead down to 1 run. And it's 9-8, Kindred Vikings. Tying run is now at third base in Ethan Dahl. Alex Christopherson, the center field, is a hitter. He takes ball 1. Christopherson is 0 for 3, a couple of groundouts and a flyout. One of his groundouts did create himself an RBI as he grounds one over to shortstop. Jack Wold has it, fires across the diamond in time to end the inning. On your Rustad Sand and Gravel line score. That half inning, the Astros come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Kindred errors and 1 runner left on base. Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
MLGC story began in 1906 in the rural communities of Enderlin and Cooperstown. Today, MLGC is a fourth-generation family-owned company that can deliver ultra-high-speed broadband, TV, telephone, and advanced business services to customers on a 100% fiber optic network. Now available in several rural communities, including Kindred. In an era of exploding technology, MLGC's goal is to deliver future technologies that make rural North Dakota a vibrant place to live and do business. Visit them today, MLGC.com. MLGC, moving you at the speed of light.
Since 1897, families in the Red River Valley have depended on Bolger Funeral Home during life's toughest challenge. With each generation, we're committed to continuing that tradition of care and meeting the changing needs of families, from expanding our facilities to offering new technologies. And through it all, one thing remains the same: caring and affordable service. Always. Bolger Funeral Home. At this time, count on us.
American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. Kindred Vikings come to bat against the Fargo Post 400 Astros. First pitch to Stanley Belaski is upstairs, ball one. Kindred Vikings are post 117. Ball one to Belaski. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 9-8. Bottom of 5. Foul ball on a fastball from Sen, the third pitcher of the ball game for the Astros. Xander Rath is on deck, followed by Mason, the top of the order, and Mason Almaris. Here's a 1-1 pitch, is over for strike two. Sen came on to start the fourth inning. Got a ground out, gave up a single, but then Jack Wold was caught stealing, and then Jack Packer struck out, so he faced the minimum. Swing and a miss by Belaski. The ball's in the dirt, and they're calling it a foul ball now. Home plate umpire saying foul ball. So no strike three. Foul ball. We'll do it again at 1-2. Mason Almaris for the Kindred Vikings has been the only pitcher this game. He's thrown 5 innings. He's thrown 98 pitches. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Kindred Vikings. And here's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, over for strike three. And Belaski goes down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the fifth inning. Brings up Xander Rath, the right fielder. Rath had a bunt single back in the third. He later came around to score. His first at-bat, however, he popped up to the pitcher trying to bunt as well. So 1 for 2. Let's see if he tries to bunt again. The infield does not sneak in. First baseman Weremeyer playing in. Now they tell the third baseman Sturmer to come in on the grass in case of a bunt attempt here. And here's the first pitch, is outside, ball one. Xander Rath, Mason Almaris on deck. Kylan Swenson is in the hole should anybody reach. Swing and a ground ball to the left side. That's going to sneak through for a base hit for Xander Rath. Both teams in double digits in hits. The Astros with 12 hits. Now the Kindred Vikings on that single by Rath have 11. Brings us to the top of the order in Mason Almaris. He's 3 for 3. The triple in 2 singles. He's got an RBI and 3 runs scored. A stolen base to boot. Nice day at the plate for Mason Almaris. Throw over to first base is not in time. Rath has some speed. Lots of good runners in this lineup. And the pitch from Sen is upstairs, ball one to Almaris. Vikings scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and 0 runs in the fourth inning. Trying to tack on some runs here. Here's a fastball pop foul out of play. Rath was running on the pitch, as you may have heard from the crowd mic. Diligently heard the infielders for the Astros yelling, "He's going, he's going," alerting the catcher. and the middle infielders and make sure they cover second base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Throw over first base is not a time to get Rath. Colson Sen on the hill for the Astros. And here's the 1-1. It's a fastball down low. Rath does go. The throw down to second base is not in time. Second baseman Ethan Dahl did field the short hop, applied the tag. Rath was able to slide through it and under the tag, and he's safe at second base with a stolen base. 2-1 the count to Almaris. Trying to get some extra runs on the board. Sen throws another one in the dirt. Rath is going to try to make the play down to third, and he is called out. Called out. It looked like he slid under the tag.
Hard to tell from this far away.
But nonetheless, the umpire called him out.
That's what he said.
So a 2-5 putout. It's the second out of the inning. Pitch was a ball to Almaris. It's a 3-1 count. 2 outs now in the inning. And here's a 3-1 fastball over for strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. Almaris trying to keep this inning alive. And the pitch, fastball down low, and he walked him. Almaris reaches on the walk. Brings up Kylan Swenson. Kylan Swenson was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first. Singled on an RBI single in the second, struck out looking in the third inning, so he's 1 for 2 officially. We'll see if Almaris tries to get himself down into second base, get himself into scoring position. And he does not go. Here's a line drive base hit into left field. Kylan Swenson wastes no time on the first pitch, laces a single into left. Runners on first and second with 2 down. Vikings trying to rally now with 2 outs. Nick Thompson steps to the plate. Nick Thompson had a sac fly in the first inning, walked in the second, reached on an error in the third. So he's 0 for 1 officially with an RBI. Runners on first and second. He could do some damage here. He's got a runner in scoring position. Good speed on the base paths. Breaking ball from Sen is down low, ball 1. Both Almaris and Kylan Swenson can run. Great speed on the base paths. A gapper scores 2 likely. And Nick Thompson's a guy that can do that. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fastball, swinging a long drive deep to left field, way back there, and she is gone. A huge 3-run home run off the bat of Nick Thompson. No speed needed on that one as Nick Thompson hits a high, deep drive into the evergreens in left field. A 3-run home run gives the Kindred Vikings a 12-8 lead on a booming 3-run home run off the big right-hander Nick Thompson. So a 2-out rally. Stanley Belowski goes down on strikes. Xander Rath reaches on a base hit, but gets thrown out trying to advance on a wild pitch. And then Mason Almaris walks. Then Kylan Swenson singles, and then a big 3-run home run by Nick Thompson. Brings up Graham Glasso, the cleanup hitter. Ball low in the dirt. So Almaris scores his 4th run of the ball game. Swenson scores his 2nd, and Thompson scores his 1st run of the ball game, but drives in 3 on the big 3-run bomb. Swing and a miss by Glasso. Nick Thompson now has 4 runs batted in this ball game. He had that sac fly and the 3-run home run. Graham Glasso, the batter. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored. Takes ball 2 in the dirt. Not sure anybody went out to get that baseball. I didn't see anybody go out there. However, I do see a kid riding a bike out there. Here's a fastball away. 3 balls and 1 strike. 13 hits now for the Vikings. And here's the 3-1. Fastball is upstairs, and Glasso draws a 2-out walk. Brings up Jeremiah Doctor, the catcher. Doctor was the first batter to face Sen in the 4th inning, and he grounded out to the first baseman. Here's a timeout on the field. Coach out to talk to his pitcher. Almaris talking to his hitter and base runner. So what happened this inning? I'll say it again. Belowski led off the inning with a strikeout looking. Xander Rath singled, stole the base, was thrown out at third, trying to advance on a wild pitch. With 2 outs, Almaris drew a walk. Kylan Swenson singled on the first pitch, and then Nick Thompson drove a 3-run home run over the left field fence. Big 3-run home run for the Kindred Vikings. And now Graham Glasso draws a walk. And Jeremiah Doctor comes to the plate. Jack Wold would be next if Jeremiah Doctor reaches. 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Astros. Vikings with 12 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. And the pitch is a ball low in the dirt. Nice block by Josh Tandesky, the catcher. Glasso not able to move up. 1-0 the count to Jeremiah Doctor. And here's a 1-0. Fouled back to the screen. It's 1-1. Nick Thompson, big 3-run home run in this inning, a no-doubter to left field. One and one the count. And here's a 1-1. Fastball away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Colston Sen on the mound for the Astros. He kicks and fires. 2-1 pitch. Over for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremiah Doctor's 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Run scored. And here's a 2-2. Fastball laced down the right field line. That's foul. Out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Might have landed over the express lane.
Yeah, it might have landed in the express lane parking lot. The ball's hit hard. Ball still rolling down there. I think it did actually go into express lane.
Yeah.
Kids are running after the baseball. If they left the door open, they got themselves a free baseball. They can turn it in at the concession stand for some Smarties.
Yeah, get that free candy.
Here's a 2-2. Off-speed pitches away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now Graham Glasso from first base will have the opportunity to take off. There's a full count and 2 outs. He's got to make sure the pitcher goes to the plate. He will pitch out of the stretch. Weremeyer not holding him on. Off he goes. There's a ground ball to the right side. Takes a Sunday school hop, and he throws him out. At first base does Ethan Dahl to Weremeyer. For the Rusted Sand and Gravel line score, Kindred Vikings come up with 3 runs on the big home run by Nick Thompson. In the inning, they had the 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5 innings, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 12-8 over the Astros. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Doolittle's Wood-Fired Grill is an experience that ignites your senses, featuring wood-fired rotisserie cooking. Grilling meat over an open flame creates that savory wood-roasted flavor, while the rotisserie rotation results in juicy and succulent meats. Doolittle's even has an outdoor fire pit that creates a relaxing setting to wine and dine for any occasion. Visit DoolittlesRestaurants.com for a full menu or to make a reservation. Doolittle's Wood-Fired Grill, 2112 25th Street South in Fargo, or call ahead at 701-478-2200.
And we're back. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier. Wendy Bernier diligently running the camera for me, running the controls and the equipment. Broadcast is powered by MLGC with fast fiber optic internet service. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 12-8 over the Fargo Post 400 Astros. Almaris kicks and fires to the leadoff hitter in the top of the sixth inning, Weremeyer. It's a ball. Weremeyer's having a good day at the plate. He had 2 singles to start off the day. He did fly out to center, so he's 2 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored. He takes ball 2, 2-0. Weremeyer is a cleanup hitter, so they'll see the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming to the plate. Hits a foul down the third base line, and it goes out of play. And Nick Thompson caught it off the plastic, the yellow plastic. Of course, it's a foul ball, but joking around, celebrating like he caught the ball. The ball hit the plastic, popped up back to him, and he caught it. It's a foul ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Chase alert on deck. Colson Sen in the hole. They'll see at-bats is sitting. Swinging a high pop fly down the third base line. Let's see what Nick Thompson can do with this one.
Oh, it bounced into the evergreens and over to the Gaga pit.
Foul ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 102 pitches now for Almaris. This is 103. Swinging a foul, and it caught Jeremiah Doctor. Not sure where, but it caught him going pretty hard, so he's feeling some pain. The umpire wisely walks it out to the pitcher, Almaris. Dusts off the plate. Catching and umpiring is sometimes a very thankless job. They take a beating back there. It's a very beautiful night, but a little bit humid, so.
Not a breeze at the outfield.
See the sweat on the umpire, see the sweat on the catcher as the 2-2 pitch is way up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremiah Doctor, very much a trooper tonight. He's catching both ends of a doubleheader. Full count. Almaris steps off. Getting a little crossed up on the signs here, so the pitcher and catcher will go talk to each other, try to clear things up. 104 pitches for Almaris. 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Astros. Vikings, 12 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. And the pitch is a breaking ball. Called it a ball. Jeremiah Doctor can't believe it. Neither can the press box up here. Didn't look like he moved his glove, but I'll take the umpire's word for it. I'm way over here. I can't see as well. It looked like a breaking ball. Fooled everybody.
Everybody's coming in now.
And Gus Weremeyer draws a leadoff walk. I think that'll be it for Almaris. And there's going to be a pitching change. So we'll take a break. That'll be it for Mason Almaris. He pitched a great ball game. And we'll take a break. You're listening and watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors has been your local Kindred area realtor for over 10 years. She'll help you find the home you're really looking for. Growing up in Gary, Minnesota, and graduating from NDSU, Jamie has made her home in Kindred, proudly cheering on the home team in blue. Buying or selling? Make that call to Jamie R. Swenson at 701-799-1779 or visit connectwithjamie.com to browse new listings and listen to the Realtor Moms podcast. Jamie R. Swenson of Park Company Realtors supports the Kindred players of today and hometown rookies of tomorrow.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at kindredstatebank.com.
Santana Concrete LLC in Barnesville comes highly recommended from their customers. But don't take our word for it, take theirs. Dan states that the team is
polite, friendly, and efficient.
Lee tells us that
quality work for a fair price is hard to find.
Here's Mike from Post 400 Baseball.
Santana Concrete did a wonderful job laying the concrete foundation for our new press box.
And Jasmine shares
they do amazing work.
Check them out by searching Santana Concrete LLC on Facebook or call 218-790-6560.
Kindred Express Lane is a friendly, locally owned convenience store open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and offers hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Kindred Express Lane is located at 220 First Avenue South across the street from the baseball and football field, just 3 inches away from Highway 15 in Kindred. While you're fueling up, be sure to grab a snack and a cold beverage for the road. Kindred Express Lane wishes the Kindred Post 117 Vikings the best of luck. Go Vikings!
Ourselves a pitching change as Jack McDonald enters the ball game in the right fielder Xander Raff's place. He'll be in the 9th hole in the lineup. Mason Almaris, who is a pitcher, moves into center field. Swing and a miss for the batter Chase Lura. He's the first batter to face Jack McDonald. Gus Weremeyer on first base after drawing the leadoff walk. Kylan Swenson moves from center to left. And Stanley Belaski moves from left over to right. Ball 1, or ball 2, I should say. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jack McDonald in to pitch. Try to hold the lead for the Kindred Vikings. Chase Lure at the bat. And here's a 2-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Leadoff walk for Weremeyer. That chased Almaris, who went 5 innings. Gave up 12 hits. Struck out 2. Did give up the 8 runs. However, he's still responsible for Weremeyer on first base. And here's a 2-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. The first strikeout for McDonald. On the first batter he faces, Chase Lura goes down on strikes. Chase Lura was 2 for 3 on the afternoon, now 2 for 4. Colston Sen, the pitcher, now batting. He's 0 for 3. Pop up, fly out, a ground out. And here's a pitch, fastball upstairs, ball 1. Jack McDonald saw some action in the first game as a courtesy runner, actually in this ball game. And here's the 1-0, swinging a foul ball over the press box. McDonald was a courtesy runner back in the first inning for the catcher, Jeremiah Doctor. And the 1-1 is a high pop fly into foul territory. Jack Packer gives a chase and couldn't quite track it down. That would have been a very, very difficult play.
That was a lot of hustle for Jack.
That was a long run. And again, it was in no man's land, kind of in a blind spot here for our cameras, but down the right field line, a lot of foul territory. Belaski gave it chase. Glasso gave it chase at second base. Jack Packer was about 2-3 feet behind it. Tried to make the over-the-head Willie Mays style catch, but it's a foul ball. Strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Colston Sen. And here's a 1-2. Breaking ball is up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jackson Sturma is on deck. And here's a 2-2. Swinging a line drive into right field. That's a base hit, and that'll reach the gap. Weremeyer on his way to third base, and he's being held up there on the stand-up double to right center by Sen. He gets his first hit of the ball game. stand-up double to right center. Chases Weremeyer over to third base. That'll bring up Jackson Sturma, the third baseman. Sturma is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored. He did walk back in the second inning and stole a base, but he was stranded. 4-run lead for the Vikings. Fastball is over, strike one to Sturma. 12-8 lead for the Kindred Vikings over the Astros. Top of the 6th inning. 13 hits now for each team. And the pitch, swing and a miss by Sturma. Very much an offensive ball game, but it's certainly not a poorly defensively played game. There's a couple errors here and there, but it's been a fun game to watch, very entertaining. Hard ground ball into right field. That's a base hit. That scores 1 run. And he's being held up at third is Sen. Throw down to second base is up in the air, and the runner will be safe. No error on the play as Jack Wold retreated nicely and was able to back that run up. So Weremeyer scores, and that'll be the 9th run charged at Almaris.
It has been fun to watch this game. They've been pretty evenly matched, and everybody's hustling on both sides. It's been fun to watch.
Jackson Sturma with an RBI single makes this a 12-9 ball game. That run charged to Almaris. And here's a pitch. Ball one upstairs to the batter, Cade Olhauser. Olhauser is 2 for 3. Had an RBI single in the 3rd and singled in the 5th inning and came around to score. Runners on 2nd and 3rd as Sturma ran down to second base after his hit and advanced a second on the throw. Ball 2 to the hitter Olhauser. 14 hits now for the Astros. Very offensive game. And the pitch, fastball over, strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike to the 8-hole hitter and the shortstop, Cade Olhauser. Josh Tandesky, the catcher, is on deck. Jack McDonald on to pitch. Mason Almaris, currently the pitcher of record for the Vikings. Fastball misses away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Olhauser. And he walked him. On the 3-1 pitch, he draws a walk. And Olhauser loads up the bases with 1 out. 1 run already in this inning. Jeremiah Doctor out to talk to Jack McDonald, try to settle him down a little bit. Jack McDonald on the hill. Hard-throwing right-handed pitcher. Now faces John Tandesky, the catcher. 1 out, bases loaded. Looks like the infield's playing back, trying to get that double play. First pitch fastball is up high, ball 1. And again, very heated moment in the ball game. Both teams cheering each other on. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a foul into the park. 1 ball and 1 strike. Number 1, Jack McDonald on the hill. Here's the 1-1. Fastball. Low and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Come on, Jack, gotta have you. Come on, Ace.
Again, no wind at this ballpark, hardly a breeze. Here's a 2-1, swing and a chopper at the plate, and it goes foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Contrary to some belief that if the foul ball hits the plate, a lot of people believe that's a foul ball. The plate is in play, so if it hits the plate and goes fair, it is still a fair ball. That one did not stay fair. Of course, it went foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch, swing and a grounder over to third. Fielded by Nick Thompson. He's going to run over to third base and get the force out. A run will score on the play. Colston Sen scores to make it a 12-10 ball game. Jackson Sturma is forced out at third base for the second out of the inning, 5 unassisted for the second out. And Tandesky reaches first base on the fielder's choice. Olhauser down to second base.
Got a new
Brings us to the top of the order in Ethan Dahl. He bats for the 5th time in this ball game. Got that courtesy runner again. Once again, number 15, Brady Hecker, to run for the catcher. 12-10 ball game. 2 runs so far in this inning for the Astros. Here's the pitch from Jack McDonald. Is a fastball, swing and a miss by Ethan Dahl. Dahl is 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. 0-1 the count. And the pitch, swing and a miss again. No balls and 2 strikes. Jack McDonald attempting to minimize the damage. 10 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors for the Astros. Vikings with 12 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. 0-2 is a ball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ethan Dahl at the top of the order. Once again, won that first game. Pitched 6 innings and got the win in the 3-2 win in the first game of this doubleheader. Brought to you by Magnitude Sports. Breaking ball, called strike 3. He struck him out. Ethan Dahl didn't like that call at all. Ethan Dahl goes down on strikes and will head to the middle of the 6th inning on your Rusted Sand and Gravel line score. They come up with 2 runs. There were 2 hits in that inning, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. At the end of, in the middle of the 6th inning, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 12-10. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
If you're looking for a bank or insurance agency that offers big bank products and small town service, then Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency is the way to go. Live in or near the Kindred area? Stop in and chat with a friendly banker or insurance agent about all of the convenient services and features they offer. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency are your neighbors who are here to help you grow and develop. Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at kindredstatebank.com.
Buffalo Wild Wings isn't supposed to make a burger this good. Like, you might even forget we have wings good. So we threw in 6 boneless wings for $1 as a reminder. Buy any burger, get 6 boneless wings for $1. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Abby says she wants to marry a B-Dubs Honey Barbecue Wing. We get the sweet, tangy allure of honey barbecue sauce, but you can't marry a chicken wing. What are you going to serve at the wedding? Their family? 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
And we're back, bottom of the 6th inning on Magnitude Sports, bringing you American Legion Baseball. Kindred Vikings taking on the visiting Fargo Post 400 Astros. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier, bringing you baseball. 1 pitch and 1 single to Jack Wold, as Colston Senn started him out with a fastball, and Jack Wold ripped a single into left field. His 4th hit of the game. He's 4 for 4. That brings up Jack Packer. 7-hole hitter. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. And here's a 1-0. Pitches outside, ball 2. Jack Packer grounded out twice and struck out. Has Stanley Belaski on deck as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. 12-10 lead for the Vikings over the Astros. Swinging a line drive base hit into left field. Both teams were tied with 14 hits. Now the Kindred Vikings have 15 hits. Jack Packer knocks his first hit of the ball game. That'll bring up Stanley Belaski. With a 2-run lead, we'll see if Coach Josh Almaris asks Belaski to lay down a bunt here. Belaski's 0 for 3. If the pop-up, reach on an error and struck out. He does have a run scored and a stolen base after he reached on that error back in the 3rd inning. First pitch is a ball in the dirt. Runners not able to advance. Jack Old has some speed out at second base. Belaski at the plate with a 1-0 count. And here's a 1-0 breaking ball drilled into left field. This ball's hit pretty well, and it's over the head of the left fielder all the way to the fence. One run will score, and the left fielder's having trouble getting the ball in at the fence, but Jack Packer will hold up at third base with a long double for Belaski as Jack Wold comes across the score from second. Jack Packer stops at third base, and an RBI double for Belaski makes it a 13-10 ball game on the 16th hit for the Kindred Vikings. Now the coach will call a timeout. We'll see if we get a pitching change here, as Sen came in to start the fourth inning, pitched the fourth and fifth innings. He's now given up 4 runs since he's entered the ball game. The other 3 came on that booming home run off the bat of Nick Thompson back in the 5th. So it looks like Sen is going to stay in this ball game, so we'll keep it right here. First 3 hitters of the bottom of the 6th inning record hits. Jack Wold starts it off with a hard ground ball single into left field. He's 4 for 4. Jack Packer gets his first of the game. And then Stanley Belaski with a booming double towards the fence in left field. Scores the 13th run off the ball game for the Vikings. That brings up Jack McDonald. Jack McDonald came into pitch this last inning, and he came into the place of Xander Rath, the right fielder. So this is the first at-bat for Jack McDonald. Swinging at a high pop fly. Out into shallow center field. This is trouble. That lands for a base hit. There will be no throw. Jack Packer comes across the score. Kind of a Texas League bloop single out into center field, but the infield was playing in. Had they been playing at their normal depth, I think they go and make that catch. As it stands, an RBI single for McDonald. Jack Packer scores. And now there'll be a pitching change. So the second meeting at the mound will force a pitching change. Zen will come out of the ball game. We'll take a break. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Buffalo Wild Wings isn't supposed to make a burger this good. Like, you might even forget we have wings good. So we threw in 6 boneless wings for $1 as a reminder. Buy any burger, get 6 boneless wings for $1. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Abby says she wants to marry a B-Dubs Honey Barbecue Wing. We get the sweet, tangy allure of honey barbecue sauce, but you can't marry a chicken wing. What are you going to serve at the wedding? Their family? 26 sauces and seasonings at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcasted on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to him today.
I kind of wonder where to even begin about what I love about Touchmark. It's everything. It's the time with the residents. It's my team. I work with wonderful individuals every single day. I love the people, and my job is to connect with them, and that's a pretty great job to have, that you get to make genuine, real connections with our residents and our team members. It's just the overall community. That is Touchmark. That's what I love.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
And we're back. We got a defensive change, a pitching change, in fact. Number 12, Jack Gould, right-handed pitcher, will come on. believe he'll go into the 6th hole in the lineup as Colston Sen exits the ball game. So Jack Gould on to face a leadoff hitter. Back to the top of the order in Mason Almaris. Runner goes. Here's the throw down to second base, not in time. As runners on first and third, Jack McDonald steals second base. Runners on second and third now. Back to the top of the order with Mason Almaris. Mason Almaris is 3 for 3 with a triple, an RBI, 4 runs scored after he got on the walk as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Mason Almaris, the hitter. He's the pitcher of record. Jack McDonald came in relief in the 6th inning. Here's a pitch. Fastball over strike 1. Right-handed pitcher Jack Gould on the mound. 4th pitcher of the game for the Astros. They started with Jiskra. Lura came in to pitch. Sen came in to pitch. And now Gould as he delivers ball 3 to Mason Almaris. Kylan Swenson on deck. Mason Almaris, 3 for 3 with 4 runs scored. Having himself a day at the plate. Here's the 3-1 fastball down low. He walked him. That loads up the bases. Kylan Swenson steps to the plate. Kylan was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, singled in the 2nd, stole a base, struck out looking in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, and came around to score. He's got 2 runs scored, 2 for 3 officially with that hit batsman. Here's a pitch fouled back to the screen, strike 1. Oh and 1 the count. 17 hits now for the Vikings. The Astros shy of that with 14 hits. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Kylan Swenson. His ball low in the dirt from Jack Gould. We got a 4th Jack in this baseball game. Kindred Vikings with 3. Now Jack Gould on to pitch. And here's a 1-1. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bases are loaded. There's nobody out. Kindred Vikings with 4 hits this inning. And here's a 2-1. Breaking ball, swing and a foul to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick Thompson's on deck. And catcher Tandesky goes out to talk to his pitcher, Jack Gould. Try to make sure they got the signs just right. There are runners on base, so you go through a series of signs. Don't want to get crossed up here. You call for a curveball. The pitcher thinks you called for a fastball. That's where things go awry. Here's the 2-2, swing and a ground ball chopped up the middle. They're going to try to come home with it, but he won't have time as a shortstop bobbled it momentarily, Cade Olhauser, but he did recover in time to get the speedy Kylan Swenson over at first base. So it's a 6-3 putout, an RBI for Kylan Swenson. As Stanley Belaski comes across the plate and scores the 3rd run of the inning to make a score of 15-10 in favor of the Kindred Vikings. McDonald does reach 3rd base, and of course Almaris is safe at 2nd. That brings up Nick Thompson, and they're going to pitch to him. It's a 15-10 lead. Pitch is up around his head, and it hit him. I don't think there's anything intentional there. Nick Thompson did have that booming 3-run home run. So he gets hit with the first pitch, and that loads up the bases. Loads up the bases with the 1 out. And that'll bring up Graham Glasso. He walked his last time up. And here's a pitch from Gould. Fastball laced into right field. Caught by the right fielder. And nobody will be able to advance as Jack McDonald was hustling down the line thinking that ball was going to drop. And the ball wasn't very deep. the right fielder, who's out in right field now, Gavin Jiskra, came in hard, made the catch in shallow right field, and the ball was just not hit far enough for Jack McDonald to advance. So it goes as a line out to right field for the second out of the inning, and that brings up Jeremiah Doctor. Vikings will bat around here in the bottom of the sixth. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the pitch, fastball, over strike 1. That's Jack McDonald on a third base. Mason Almaris is out at second. Nick Thompson on at first base. 15-10 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Post 117 over the post 400 Astros. Out of Fargo. Pitch is way up high, ball 1. Jeremiah Doctor, 1 for 4 on the afternoon, in this ball game, I should say, with an RBI double and a run scored. Fly out, pop up, or a ground out, and a ground out. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeremiah Doctor trying to keep this inning going here, trying to provide some insurance runs for his battery mates, his pitchers. Try to secure a win for the Kindred Vikings after the Astros took the first game of this doubleheader. Here's the 1-2, swing and a blooper down the third base line. That is a foul ball. Was foul by a couple of feet down the left field line. Jeremiah Doctor with a defensive swing, trying to stay alive in the at-bat, almost blooped that one in down the left field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes remains the count. Jack Wold is on deck. He started this inning with a base hit, came around to score. Should Jeremiah Doctor reach, Jack Wold will have a chance at a 5-for-5 day. Here's the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catcher tried to frame that one by standing up and then getting back down into the squatting position to try to frame that ball. Umpire did not buy it.
I think Blue's onto him a little bit.
Yeah. Not the most secretive frame job. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball chopped up the middle. That's through for a base hit into center field. Almaris being waved home. He'll come across to score his 5th run of the ball game. McDonald scores. Almaris scores. Again, he scored 5 runs on the ball game. And a 2-run single for Jeremiah Doctor. The 18th hit for the Vikings gives the Vikings a 17-10 lead. Nick Thompson does stop at second base. And now what do we got here?
Well, they're discussing some things.
Well, we're going to have a courtesy runner for the catcher. It'll be Grant Spellhout. The speed demon will come in and be the courtesy runner. Grant Spellhout getting a little grief as being the courtesy runner.
They're going to stretch it out. That'll help.
I can tell you he's faster than I am, so
yeah.
Which isn't saying anything.
He's ready. Look at him working out.
Yeah, he's getting ready. He's getting his warm-up jumps in there. So a 2-run single makes it a 17-10 ball game. Brings up Jack Wold. Jack Wold is 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored. He's got himself a chance for a 5-hit night. And here's the pitch. Fastball down low in the dirt, ball 1. Nick Thompson's out at second base. 5 runs this inning in the bottom of the 6th. For as many runs that have scored, this has been a crisply played ball game. There's been a couple of errors here and there, but nothing dramatic. It's just been a fun baseball game to watch. Both teams playing hard. Great pitching duel in the first game. This is far from a pitcher's duel as the score is 17-10. However, very entertaining baseball games tonight. Very fun to watch. Here's a 2-0 to Jack Wold. Gold kicks and fires, fastball down low. 3 balls and no strikes. Jack McDonald scored this inning. Jack Wold is at the plate. Jack Packer's on deck. Jack Gould is the pitcher. Here's the 3-0. Ball low, he walked him. That loads him up. So Jack Gould won't get his 5th hit in that plate appearance anyway. Doctor moves down to second. Nick Thompson over to third. That brings up Jack Packer. He's 1 for 4 with a base hit. Back in the 6th inning, he came around to score. Jack Packer has some power. Seven-run lead. Astros with a touchdown and a field goal. Vikings with 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 17-10, 1 ball and no strikes to Jack Packer. And here's a 1-0. Fastball, it hit him. And Jack Packer's going to drive in a run. Either way you want to call it, the easy way or the hard way. He takes a hit batsman, gets a run batted in. Jack Wold moves down to second base. Doctor, his pinch runner, Grant Spellhog over to third. And Nick Thompson comes across the plate to score his 2nd run of the night. That'll bring up Stanley Belowski, the right fielder. He had a big RBI double in his last at bat in the 6th inning. He came around to score. It's 18-10. And here's the pitch up high, ball 1. 6 runs in this inning for the Kindred Vikings. Five hits so far this inning as Belowski takes ball 2. 18 runs, 18 hits, 1 error for the Vikings. Astros 10 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors. Ball 3 to Belowski. Jack Gould looks like he's throwing the ball well, having a little control issues right now after issuing the bases loaded hit batsman, Jack Packer. Now the 3-0 is a fastball right down the middle. Strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jack McDonald, the relief pitcher's on deck. And here's the 3-1. Fastball, high, pop fly into the infield. Third baseman, Sturma calls for it, and he puts it away. Big inning for the Kindred Vikings. 6 runs put up on the board on the Rusted Sand and Gravel line score. 6 runs that inning. I counted 5 hits. There were no errors. 3 runners left on base. At the end of 6 innings, Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 18 ahead. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnet Sports.
For your remodeling and service needs on residential or commercial water heaters, sewers, drain cleaning, floor heating, and more, contact DJ's Plumbing and Heating in Castleton. The team at DJ's Plumbing and Heating has over 43 years of experience and is an officially licensed master plumber. DJ's Plumbing and Heating. Give them a call today at 701-347-5253 or visit them in person at 1002 Front Street in Castleton.
We head to the top of the 7th inning. This is it. Do or die here for the Astros. They're down by 8. It's a score of 18-10. We're bringing you American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. This has been a fun night. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Evening.
We're up in the press box in Kindred, North Dakota. Second game of a doubleheader. Fargo Post 400. The Astros won the first game by a score of 3-2 in a pitcher's duel. Both pitchers pitched an excellent ball game. Jack Wold for the Vikings, Ethan Dahl for the Astros. The Astros win it by a score of 3-2. The second game, however, has been equally entertaining, but far from a pitcher's duel. It's 18-10 in favor of the Vikings. Jack McDonald on the pitch for the Vikings. Line drive, base hit into center field for the leadoff hitter, Ashton Renas. Renas has had a good night. He's got a lot of hits. I believe he had 3 hits in the first game. He gets his second hit this game. Leading off the top of the 7th, McDonald will face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for sure. Ashton Renas starts him off with a base hit. And Renas has led off 6 innings tonight, or 5 innings, I should say, and has gotten a hit in all 5 of them. Here's a ground ball over to third base in time for the 5-4-3 double play. Alex Christopherson, the center fielder, hits a sharp ground ball to Nick Thompson, who throws over to second base Glasso, who throws over to first base Jack Packer. The ball is in the dirt. Jack Packer kicks it out of the dirt, squeezes it, and it's a 5-4-3 double play, and there's 2 down. That'll bring up Gus Weremeyer, who's had a great night at the plate. Down to their last out. Jack McDonald kicks and fires, strike 1. Weremeyer singled in the first, singled in the third, came around to score, flew out in the 4th, and walked and scored a run in the 6th inning. He's got a 0-1 count. Breaking ball, check swing. Home plate umpire said he went. Strike 2. Jack McDonald trying to close this one out. I think the verdict is in. This is not a save situation for Jack McDonald. There was a runner on base. The tying run would have to be on deck, and he came in with a 4-run lead as Weremeyer drives his 3rd hit of the ball game into left field. Man, 16 hits now for the Astros. It's not often you put up 16 hits in a 7-inning game and get out hit. Not that the game's over. It's 10 runs, 16 hits, and 2 errors for the Astros. The Vikings with 18 runs, 18 hits, and the 1 error. Weremeyer now on first base. That'll bring up Chase Lura, now the right fielder. Came in and got the save in the first game. Came in and pitched relief in this second game. Chops one over to third base. Nick Thompson fields it, throws on to first base in time for the out. And the Kindred Vikings close it out and win this one by a score of 18-10 over the Fargo Post 400 Astros. We'll take a break and we'll be back to wrap this ball game up. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Do you have a teen ready for driving lessons? Don't know what they need to do or when things need to be done? If busyness keeps you from driving with them, then Gotta Go Driving School is the place to call. Jeff Weber at Gotta Go Driving School has been teaching driving lessons to all age groups since 1991. Call Jeff at Gotta Go Driving, 238-0236. Jeff will tell you to start planning ahead now. Don't wait. Got a new driver? Then it's Gotta Go Driving School. Talk to Jeff or go online at gottagodrivingschool.com.
Kindred Storage provides secure and affordable storage 24 hours a day. The units at Kindred Storage are new construction, isolated from water and snow, and are maintained year-round. The area is also well lit to ensure safe and easy access to your possessions day or night. Call 701-428-3121 for availability, unit pricing, and more information. Kindred Storage. You can find them online at kindredstorage.com. You can also find them on the north side of the airport in the city of Kindred.
And we're back on Magnitude Sports as we brought you American Legion Baseball. A lot of baseball played here tonight and a lot of runs scored in this second game as the Kindred Vikings win the second game of a doubleheader by a score of 18-10. 18 hits put up by the Vikings and 16 hits put up by the Astros. Very much an offensive ball game, and the Kindred Vikings do come out on top. I think the player of the game has to go to Mason Almaris. Mason Almaris pitched 5 innings and recorded the win. He did give up some runs, but his team backed him up and put a lot of runs on the board as well, and a lot of those runs were scored by Mason himself. He was 3 for 3 with 2 walks, and he scored 5 runs tonight, stole a base, and drove in a run as well. So we'll give the player of the game to Mason Almaris as the Kindred Vikings take the win.
Yeah, he's going to have to ice up that arm a little bit, but he had a good game tonight, and his bat was hot, so.
Yep.
It was fun to watch them.
It was a fun to watch ball game. Congratulations to the post 400 Astros out of Fargo. They come in and win that pitcher's duel 3-2 in that first game, and they come up and put in 10 runs and 16 hits on in the second game. Unfortunately, they gave up the 18 runs, and Kindred Vikings come out on top. But two very well played baseball games, very entertaining. Just a lot of fun to watch some American Legion baseball on this field.
Yeah, a lot of good teamwork, everybody cheering from both sides, so that was fun to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of action, some questionable calls by the umpires, so you had some people jawing at the ump a little bit, but the umpires did a great job keeping this ball game in check. Big 3-run home run by Nick Thompson. That was a booming no-doubter home run to left field for a 3-run shot. That was fun to watch. Some good defensive plays, some good pitching, good hitting, patient hitting. It was just fun to watch. So this broadcast was powered, by the way, by MLGC with fast fiber optic internet service. And
we just want to give a shout out too to the other sponsors, Runnings and Rust Ads and Express Lane. That's nice to have them on board.
Yeah, thanks to all of our sponsors. Yeah, Runnings bringing you the starting lineups, Rust Ads, Sand and Gravel bringing you the line scores, Kindred Express Lane. We had a foul ball go into the express lane. I believe it probably snuck into the building, at least into the parking lot. They're sponsoring the scoreboard. And again, MLGC with their fast fiber optic internet service was great. And thank you to all the sponsors for bringing us baseball. This is a great service that we have here, and it's very fun to watch this American Legion baseball. I know there's a lot of people watching, and we thank you for that as well. So we'll wrap it up here. I'm Mike Bernier for Wendy Bernier. We'll wrap it up. You've been watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
The preceding broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.